Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Well friends, I am here again to tell you the answers related to the section idioms and phrases. First, let me explain to you what idioms actually are. Idioms are expressions that do not follow the dictionary meaning. Over the period of time, over the passage of time, the group of words mentioned in the idioms convey an entirely different meaning which is at variance with the dictionary meaning. So the only way to learn these is by reading them repeatedly, or a better method is to use them as much as possible. So with this as the background, let me start explaining to you the idioms that have been asked in the CDS paper 1 of 2020. The first idiom that was asked is a paper tiger, and the four options are person or organization that appears powerful but actually is not. B. Person or organization that acts like a tiger. People who campaign for the protection of tigers. And fourth is daredevil. As I already said, the dictionary meanings or the words that are conveying the dictionary meaning, those options are clearly incorrect. So since we are talking of tiger here and we are talking of tiger in part B, option B and option C, we can safely rule them out. So now the only options that merit consideration are a daredevil and a person or organization that appears powerful but actually is not. So the correct answer is A, persons or organization that appears powerful. Say for example, the West Indies team. It appears that it is strong on paper, but actually when it comes to the field, they do not perform that well. So that team becomes a paper tiger. That is the essence of this idiom. Let us now move on to the second idiom. Well gentlemen, the second idiom is lily-livered. Here the four options are brave and courageous, not brave, and comical and outrageous. So lily-livered actually means a person who is not brave, who is timid, who gets easily frightened, and who is cowardly in his approach. That means the answer is option B, that is not brave. Let us now go to the next idiom. Eat like a bird. The four options are eat fast, eat very little, eat a lot, pretending to be eating. So there is a mistaken notion that a bird eats very less. So we are saying eat like a bird. The idiom has been derived from this misconception. So we say eat very little. Eat fast does not work. Eat a lot. This is interesting because eat like a bird and eat like a horse. When the opposite sense of eat like a bird is conveyed by eat like a horse, and that meets this requirement. Obviously, this is wrong in this sense, in this sentence. Here the answer is option B. And pretending to be eating, that is like pecking at your food. So that is not the correct thing. So the answer remains B. Let us move on to the next question. The next idiom is the dog days. The four choices are days celebrating dogs. Obviously, here the literal sense is coming, so it can safely be eliminated. The bitter days, the hottest days, and the coldest days. Answer could be any one of them. But if you got an idea from where this expression has come, it will help in clarifying that the answer is the hottest days. Basically, this has come from a Latin phrase and from the Latin idiom which mentions the dog star Ceres. In the northern hemisphere, the hottest part is the period from July 3 to August 11. So those days, from the dog star, it has become the dog days, and those are the hottest days. Obviously, in other places, you will have different periods. So the idiom is a Greek and Latin origin, and hence we are talking of July 3 to August 11. Let us now shift to the next idiom. The idiom is a banana republic. Note the word banana. The four options are a small or poor country with a weak government, a small or poor country which produces banana. That means banana is the only product that poor country produces. A country which has been occupied by a big country. And last, a country without any government. So obviously there is hardly any country without any government. So this option can clearly be ruled out, and we will go to others. Before that, we need to understand a banana. There are countries in the Central American region where banana is basically exported, and based on which the government generates its finances for running the government. And obviously that government has gradually been synonymized with the word corrupt. So a government that is weak, that is corrupt, is known as a banana republic, and that means that option A is the right answer. A small or poor country which produces banana is not the answer, because that was the original sense from where this idiom changed. But now it alludes to the government which is corrupt and which is very weak. So answer A is the right answer. Let us now move to the next idiom, the pros and cons. The four choices given are the good and bad parts of a situation, like and dislike of a situation, a bad experience in an event, a good moment of an event. We need to understand that this word pro and con, these words have got a Latin origin. The word pro means for and cons means against. That means the factors we are considering, what are the factors which are for it, and cons, which are the factors which are running against that point in debate. So it becomes the good and bad parts of a situation. That means answer A is the correct option which conveys this idea. In other words, pros and cons are understanding the positives and the negatives of any given issue. Let us now shift to the next idiom, prime the pump. Before we start talking about it, we should understand from our day-to-day life. In the villages, we have got something known as a hand pump, by which water is drawn from underground and brought up to the surface level. But more often than not, we have to put some water into that pump in order to remove the air which is locked up in the pipe. In other words, we prime the pump. So we are adding water in that pump pipeline so as to remove the air, and thereafter that pump gets activated. With this as the scenario, the idiom has been formed, and it means to do something in order to make something succeed. If we didn't add that water, that pump would not draw out water from the underground water table. So the answer becomes to do something. To do good things in life, it has got nothing to do with good things. To do something in order to get bad things done. There is no question of bad. Asking people to do things, there is no question of asking people. It is basically to make sure that we succeed by taking necessary action. So we prime the pump to make the water pump work efficiently. Otherwise, the water will not be drawn from the water table. Now let us move to the next idiom, the green-eyed monster. Green-eyed. We need to first understand the association of green. Green is a color associated with jealousy. If we have this much knowledge, then the selection of the correct answer becomes a piece of cake. Let us read the four options. Feeling of being joyous. There is no question of joyous and jealousy. feeling of being jealous, it is obviously associated with the word green. So that means option B is the right answer. Feeling bad about happenings does not fit. Feeling lucky about something, it does not fit. That means feeling of being jealous, green-eyed monster. This expression was first used by Shakespeare in his play Othello, and from there on it has continued to exist even till the present day. Let us now shift to the next idiom. The idiom is rise to the occasion. We also can say rise to the challenge. Both the phrases rise to the occasion and rise to the challenge convey the same meaning. Now let us try to understand what the four options are. To celebrate a success in a difficult situation, to regret a situation, there is no question of regretting when the sense is rise to succeed in dealing with a difficult situation. So this is right because you have risen to the occasion, you have lifted yourself up in such a way that you are befitting the requirements of that occasion. So option C is the right answer. To motivate people to succeed in a difficult situation, there is no question of motivating. You are acting yourself. You are the doer. So you are rising to the occasion. So answer becomes C. Now I come to the last question of this section, idioms and phrases. The last question is, call it a day. Appropriately so. I think it is high time that I also called it a day. Let us see what it actually means. Call it a day, end of the day, completion of work, stop doing something, and a beautiful day. So when you say call it a day, means you have been involved in certain task, your time has passed in that, and now you want to stop that work. So that means let's call it a day. That means stop doing something. It has got nothing to do with completion. You may not have completed it. For all you know, you may again restart the pending work tomorrow. But for the day, you have ceased your work activities. That is why we say call it a day. And similarly we can also say call it at night. That means you have stopped something for the night time. Supposing you have started your working since morning and now it is by Indian standards, let's assume it is 7 p.m. So instead of saying call it a day, it would be more appropriate to say call it a night. Both expressions mean the same thing. When you say call it a night, it means that you have stopped working and you will not work anymore during the night hours. When you say call it a day, it can be during the daytime when you stopped working, and whether the work is finished or not is a secondary subject. But you have stopped working for that day. Thank you very much. I have finished this. I have only got one small submission. You must have gone through the various answers given by me for the English section. I am sure that many of you would be feeling happy with the answers that I have given and are now confident of passing. For those students, I would say that Aim and Achieve is the correct place to join to make sure that you succeed in the SSB. You need not wait for a result. If you got a fairly good idea of the marks which you get, you should start developing your personality at the earliest. Students who join when at the fag end, after getting the results, have hardly any time to improve their personality and work on their qualities that are required by the SSB. So it is better, the sooner you start, the better it is. I would only say that come to Aim and Achieve and you will see a tremendous improvement in your personality, and we will ensure that we polish you to the best possible manner so that you achieve your highest potential in the time available for you. And if ever you got any doubt related to English, I am also there to take on those classes. For all those who are interested to know my name is Wing Commander R. Tyagi. I have been in the SSB for several years and have interviewed over 14,000 candidates. So I am very sure that with my expertise, I should be able to polish you and hone your skills to ensure that you succeed in the SSB. Thank you very much. Enjoy yourself. Take care, and let's hope we meet again at Aim and Achieve, South X, New Delhi. Thank you.